Want to see just under 7 million posts, articles, videos. Before it's news.com, it speaks for itself. Thank you, Mr. Jeffrey Burchett, for writing an article about the object that I saw falling on the moon. And like he said himself in the article, we don't know what it is, but it was pretty spectacular. Thanks for attracting people to the research, my friend, and I hope to be able to do the same. Just posted a short video of these bases or constructed objects. Listen, not everything that's constructed on the surface of the moon can be a base. Look at the greenery on the surface. Another thing, all the variation we'll be looking at in this video. I'm not done. I got lots of research to do. I'll be here throughout the holidays. Not the holidays. No, let's try that again. The holidays. Merry Christmas. By the way, we are Christmas Day today. Look at the bases. You'll never see it better than that. Piping or tunneling going around it. Two different types of materials. A dark material and a bright reflective material on a green surface. How exciting is that? We can see an incredible view of the surface. This is a negative image, and those are the objects. These are declared as craters. They're not. Lots of monolithic objects on the surface, high rising off the surface like towers. In the next videos, I'll get some of that up. Clavius crater, towers beside it, where NASA declared there is water. There's a Piper tunnel that goes all around this base or object. That's many miles wide. Approximately all of this that we're looking at, probably about 40, 50 kilometers wide. So, give you an idea of the size of these objects. These 2 or 3 or 4, 5, 6 building structure objects are as big as 2 towns. 2 small towns of 20, 30 kilometers, right? And these, it gets to one point where it's impossible, to say that there's nothing up there in the atmosphere that I've been showing on top of it. So let's come to an agreement. What would they have to do if there were bases up there? They would have to hide it somehow, right? There's not a holographic image hiding it, which I think more it's atmosphere. John Lear had said, Bruce, you penetrated the hologram, but is there a hologram? I never denied it, but honestly, I'm just seeing a lot of disturbance in the atmosphere, but not between Earth and the moon, or not only, but on the moon, like right pressed up in the atmosphere close to the surface. They could be doing like us here. We have planes that chemtrail and the natural clouds themselves hide 90% of the surface of Earth. So if aliens and the UFOs, if aliens were looking at us, like I'm looking at these objects right now, and hang on, these objects are very big, right beside Bianchini crater, to the right of Sinus Iridum. Incredible. All connected, massive infrastructure that was built and high rising off the surface thousands of feet or many hundreds of feet. But I'm telling you, someone's in these, or someone was, and that's what's intriguing me. I don't care whether they're humans or aliens, whether they're smart or not. They're smart enough to have built these objects, and we don't build that big here. And why would somebody build an object that big? This, again, one of my favorites beside Copernicus crater. Let your eyes adjust. Then I'll put an arrow up at something at the end. And anyways, we got the zinc company here. I mean, I swear to you, it looks exactly the same. Look at the arrow, the lines. You do see that there's connections to big cylindrical objects, right? They're doing something. Some of those glass cities could be producing or terraforming oxygen, trying to thicken the atmosphere in the air. Hey, listen, they're doing it on Mars as of last year or the year before. Patches, seen in black and white. Here's the real color, no filtering. It's green that's showing up in the camera. You can say that it could be refraction. Benefit of the doubt, I'll mention it, no problem. But they're still green. And it's patchy. And look how, when I say patchy, it distributes itself sporadically around the craters, even in the back side of the crater there. Look at the back side all around it. You can see there's greenery there too. With my 14-inch CGXL scope, look, I used to use a very small camera before, and I'm using a DSLR, and then first bridge, then DSLR. Guys, Copernicus crater. Check it out. On the edge of Copernicus crater, the widest rampart, ejecta they say part. When you look at this, it looks like we're looking at glass, and that the ejecta part actually has a film at last over top. You can also see a spectacular towering object. Watch. Copernicus crater on the edge, that towering object in the center sticking up. Whatever it may be, I have no idea. Plato crater, greenery and massive towering monolithic objects and a fire on the surface that even NASA is talking about. Look at all that greenery on the surface. There's lots of greenery on the surface of the moon. There's not gray there at all. The gray is the clouds. That's what's hiding the structures inside of most of the craters. Look on the left what you're looking at. Put your finger over those lines and see where they go to. The way they tunnel and snafu around like a snake base, I like to say. Where are we? Notice the big crater on the right with the thing in the middle? That's where the cities are. I've showed structures there for 3, 4, 5 years. Nobody believes me. Most don't. Think of it. It is near impossible to be able to see the surface properly, right? But again, not impossible. I've showed it many a times. We see giant structures there that are impossible to miss. Look what happens when we bring the exposure down, like I showed in the last video. There are light sources on the surface of the moon. And aside from that, there's something that's really bothering me, but at the same time, you can see that there are light sources on the surface of the moon and some pink or brownish, reddish lights coming off the surface. With the exposure taken down, I zoomed up on it. No matter what it may be, I'm just showing it to you. And unless you do it the way I do it, not saying it's hard, but people wonder why my moon is so dark. Well, you know, the moon's not bright. It's just as refraction coming. When we bring the exposure right down, for those interested, there's no saturation here, by the way. Try it yourself. Any of you just bring the exposure right down, you'll see the bright candy-shaped fusioning spots. But now here's the thing. That thing on the bottom looks like a dome. There's smoke or, refraction coming from it. These could be cities inside of a glass-like element. A lot of names missing on this video, but Paul Sabo and Pat Crossard, thanks for gifting out the memberships to help this channel grow. Aliens on the moon, when are they gonna tell the world? Come on, Pentagon. Aliens on the moon. Aliens on the moon. And they're mining really up there. They're mining on the moon. Aliens on the moon. Thank you very much for the support to this channel. Everyone, thanks for the generous contributions and thanks for watching the videos. Aliens up there on the moon. They may be even coming right here soon. Aliens are mining on the moon. Yes, they are up there. Doesn't matter cause disclosure's coming soon. Disclosure's coming soon.